There's a story. There's a fellow in Israel. His name is Weber. Ido Weber, wonderful person, and he became very close to Rabbi Moshe Weber, who in fact was even a more wonderful person. And he lived in Jerusalem. He was very close to the Rebbe. He was a wondrous man. He died at a fairly old age. I think he died like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, how long it was. I knew him a bit. And he was just a very special person. And there's a lot of stories told about it. Anyway, so this Ido Weber, he puts out he put out at one time a sort of a weekly newsletter, and in it was this story. What's the story? The story is, I think he heard the story from the person himself. A young man went to buy matzah. He went to buy matzah. It was like a week before Passover. A religious fellow, he was the religious fellow, not connected to Chabad or any group, a religious Jew, and he went to buy matzah. So we went to the Chabad place, to the Chabad center over there to buy matzah. So we went into the Chabad center to buy matzah, and there was an old man standing behind the counter. And the old man said, "I'm sorry, we ran out of matzahs." So the young man said, "What do you mean you ran out of matzahs? It's a week before Passover. Everyone's buying matzah now. It's a tremendous need. How can it be you ran out of matzah?" I mean, Chabad, it provides for everybody. You're really short-sighted. You didn't stock up with enough matzah. What can I do? We ran out of matzah. That's the fact. If you want matzah, he said, go to Hamefitz. Hamefitz is a bookstore in Jerusalem. It's on the sort of, you have to go up this big sort of, road. It goes down a hill. It's a big incline. You have to go up this road. It says Hamefitz is up on the top of the road. The bookstore. I didn't know that they sold matzahs. Yeah, they sold matzah over there. Go over there. So the young man said, "I can't figure it out. Every year I used to come here. Other people told me they come here and they buy matzah." Yeah. So he looked at the old man. "You sure?" "I'm sure." Okay, so the young man starts to walk. He walks to this place, the Mayfeets, and in order to go there, he has to go up this sort of, it's a road. There's a main street, and then from the main street, he turns right, and it goes up this hill. So he's walking up the hill thinking, I'm going to buy matzah. And suddenly, what does he see? A baby carriage. He sees a baby carriage that gets loose. It's coming down the road, and there's nobody holding onto the baby carriage. So he doesn't know, is there a baby inside of the baby carriage? Maybe it's just a baby carriage. And he hears a baby crying inside of the baby carriage. It's far away, but he hears a distant. So he runs in front of this thing. If the baby carriage makes it down to the bottom of the hill, it means it goes into this big street. It's like, four lanes each way or something. Yeah, busy street. So he runs and he jumps in front of this carriage and he stops it just at the last minute. Stops at the last minute. He falls down. Who knows? It stops the carriage. So he looks inside, and sure enough, there's a little baby inside of the carriage. A little baby inside of the carriage. So he takes the carriage. He realizes obviously it must have come from somewhere up, and he takes the carriage and he pushes it up and here he sees there's a young couple, and they're looking in the window of a furniture store or something and deciding which furniture. So he says, "Excuse me, is this yours?" And they turn and say, "Yes, it's our carriage. What are you doing?" So what am I doing? What are you doing? The carriage was just rolling down the street. And if I wouldn't have stopped it, it would have gone. And they said, "Oh no, I don't believe it." It ended up that somehow that they did put the brakes on the thing, but they must have not have put it on. And they didn't notice that the carriage, they were sure that the carriage just stood where it was. They didn't notice that it came loose. And he saved it. So they thanked him profusely. And the woman was crying and she said, "You saved my baby." And she said, they wanted to give him a reward. He didn't take the reward. So he goes to this place on Mayfeets to buy matzah. So he goes to he knocks on goes into the store, and there's, books, the high book. Says, "I'd like to buy some matzahs." They said, "Matzahs? We don't sell matzahs here." Said, "But you're a Mayfeets, right?" Said, "Yeah, you want to buy matzahs? Go to Chabad. It's down that they sell matzahs." He said, "But I was just there. They said they ran out of matzahs." I said, "What? Chabad ran out of matzahs? What are you talking about? 5 days before that? That's impossible." In any case, whether they ran out of matzahs, they didn't run out of matzahs, this is a Mayfeets. We just sell books. We don't sell matzahs. We never sold matzahs. We don't sell You want to buy an esrog? We don't sell that either. We just sell books. Whatever we sell books. Want to buy a nice book? We can buy books. Want to buy a book about eating matzah? You can buy what to make matzah, how to eat matzah, what to think about when you eat matzah. But we don't sell matzahs. We never sell matzahs. I'm sure that Chabad sells matzahs. It's a mistake. You're making a mistake. Maybe you went into the wrong building or something. But we sell. So what am I going to do? What's matzah? So he figures, okay, so he goes down to the Chabad center, and sure enough, there is someone standing behind. Do you sell matzahs? Sure, but I was just here half an hour ago, and there was an old man standing here, and he said that you don't sell matzahs. That you're all run out. He says, what? We run out? Come with me. Takes them back. There's a room just packed with matzahs, just like matzahs all over, right? Just piles and piles of matzahs. So we got enough matzahs for you. We got enough matzahs for your friends. How many you want to buy? 100 boxes of matzahs, 1,000 boxes of matzahs? We have matzahs. So he said, I don't understand. Half an hour. I said, no, half an hour. I wasn't here. I just had to go to the bathroom for a second. I closed the door, but I was just not long, I was gone. So he said, one second, who was that old man that stood here and told me to go to the Mayfeets to buy matzahs? He said, Mayfeets, they don't sell matzah at the Mayfeets, they just sell books. He says, how could it be? So he came to the conclusion that that old man must have been Elijah the prophet, or a temporary replacement of Elijah the prophet, in order to save the baby that was coming down in the carriage from the hill. And so we see that sometimes that God works in very, very strange ways, just for small details in the world to save one baby. So it goes the story. Have a good day with Mashiach now.